following program is classified G. It's suitable for all ages.
Good evening and thank you for joining with us on another episode on Business Best, and this is a platform where we showcase the best in the business, and we will be introducing to you people who have excelled in their particular field in order to showcase their latest developments in their respective industry. Now today on the show we're going to talk about a service sector, a sector I would say would give you some sort of relief physically and mentally, and it's something very soothing and something that people don't actually think about in the first place when you have some sort of pain. So now to talk about this business, I would like to invite Nilakshi Kasilingam, who is the founder of Physio Medicare. Nilakshi, thank you so much for taking the time to join with me on the show today.
Thank you for inviting for this joint.
To now start off with the discussion, Nilakshi, tell our audience a little bit about Physio Medicare and what are the aspects of physiotherapy that you all provide?
Yes, Physio Medicare is a physiotherapy outpatient clinic. So it's located in Dehiwala. So if you take physiotherapy, we have three aspects mainly: pain management, rehabilitation, and sports care. So if you take a pain management side, it's back pain, neck pain, shoulder stiffness related musculoskeletal condition. If you take a rehabilitation condition, stroke, Parkinson, Guillain-Barré syndrome, or spinal cord paralysis, so rehabilitation after those conditions. And if you take a sports, which is very popular sector, I think most people know physiotherapy for sports. So maybe after sports injuries, on the grounds, you must have seen when the cricket matches and all, if a player fell down and a person will be running to the field, that is the physio. Usually the advertisement cover it, right? So that's the physiotherapist. So sports injuries, after the injuries or the after post-surgical conditions as well. There are ACL injuries or total knee replacement. So other than the inpatient, that is, we don't have admitting facility. So after the patient discharged from the hospital, so the outpatient unit, we have the proper rehabilitation setup where the patient can walk. It's a accessible wheelchair entrance is there, wheelchair accessible washrooms are there. So and we have parallel balance training sector. So we have a setup for all the rehabilitation clinics. So that's the main part as well.
Right, Nilakshi. Now when considering all these three aspects, now Physio Medicare has been in the business for quite some time now, for I think 10 years. And which area have you seen that the most demand, like from where have you got the most clients from?
If you take 10 years before, it is usually 50 plus patients age group where we get lost rehabilitation for stroke, Parkinson's or age related condition. But if you take it recent, post-COVID era, I think maybe due to online classes, work from home scenarios, a lot of postural issues are coming up, a lot of sedentary life where the kids are not going for sports or extracurricular activities, the others are doing everything online, no shopping, no, everything is online. So literally there's more sedentary. Already we have reduced our movement lifestyle, and the COVID and other issues have reduced further. So if you take it now, it's all musculoskeletal condition. I would say definitely we'll be getting either back or neck condition, at least minimum 10 patients per day. It's that common because of the computer usage, and the age is coming down as well. We get a lot of school kids for scoliosis, spine changes, and young 20 plus age group for the back and neck pains. So those are the common conditions we treat now, if you take it.
So now not the 50 plus age group is coming to you, but the younger people.
Yes.
Is there a particular reason why the young people are now attending physiotherapy sessions?
Yes, if you look at it, 50 years back, we have to squat for the toileting. We had to take a bucket over pour over our head, we have to scratch our back and all those things. So when you get up in the morning to the night, throughout the day you have some kind of an exercise going on. You don't have to do exercise. But if you take now, everything is in either standing, sitting, or moving, sleeping. There's no much movement involved comparatively. Even for us, we have lift everywhere, moving stairs everywhere, so we don't even climb up. We don't walk in uneven surfaces. We don't squat for the toileting. So literally zero movements, zero strength needed for anything. Simple example I tell is our parents used to go to Polar and were able to carry 3-4 bags of groceries back to home. While we can't even from cart to home, we can't bring it. We are that weak now. So those weakness, so if you, even small incidents can cause an injury. That's the young people are getting. I bent down to pick a pencil and I couldn't straighten up. So it's not about I'm going to pick a big heavy bucket of water or anything. Just a pencil is enough to create injury. Or I just went to put a seat belt and I strained my neck. The conditions becoming so worse because the muscles are very weak now.
So do you think because of the COVID pandemic, when people are staying at home, these conditions got worse? It's because they got lazy?
Yes. At least before COVID, you have to get up in the morning, get ready, go to certain distance to walk around, go to work, and at work you move around a bit. If you take it work from home, they get up from the bed and they start working on the bed itself, right? So posture, no movement, so they get up only to drink water or washrooms or eat. Other than that, it's literally no movement. And if you take 20 to 30 age group, our main concern is to earn. So that plays a major role. So the rest of the thing is compromised.
Right.
So imagine you have some project going on. If your friend asks to come and play for a cricket, you would say, I'll come next week. I need to finish my work off, right? So the physical movements we are trying to hold while the work seated job become priority and that age group, which becoming a small movement, injuries become high now. So that's the reason we are getting this as a high aspect now.
Now, Nilakshi, when I have met people, they talk about, their neck strains or their arm strains or something wrong with their leg. And when I ask them, like, what did you do about it? They would say, I went to a masseuse or I got a massage done. So what is the difference between getting a physiotherapy session and getting a massage?
So getting a professional massage done actually is good for a relaxation purpose. So I would say if you have a condition, a medical condition, you would probably better off with a physiotherapist than a masseur. But of course, if you're looking for a relaxation, don't go for a physio, go for a masseur. They know how to relax you better. But if you have for example, a neck pain or back pain, we know the muscles better, the nerves better, and we would be able to sort things out in a better way, because it's not. Of course, physios have a component of massage. If you have a knots and all, we release it. But we won't be giving you a full relaxation or full body massage or anything. We will be working on that particular joint or muscle to release the tension of the muscle. And we will work around to align the muscle, strengthen it so that you don't get back the pain again. Imagine you just release it and send the home and the patient go back to the same alignment or bad posture. So next day you are back with the same pain, and doesn't make sense. So I'm not saying massage is bad or anything. It's like bad to go in what particular, if you're looking for a relaxation, yeah, go for a good professional masseur. If you're looking for a medical condition, better to move on to a physio. So because the person has a 4.5 degree to assess you and to give you a better answers for your questions.
Now, talking about medical conditions, Nilakshi, some people might say, yeah, for the pain, I just took a painkiller or I took some medicines. So, does Physio Medicare also prescribe medicines?
No, we do not. And physios are legally not allowed to prescribe medications. And we usually happy to get a patient without medication. For example, if you have a cut in your hand and if you take a pain meds, the cut is still there, you just don't feel it. Same goes for a person who comes with a back pain. If the person have taken over-the-counter pain medication and come to us, and when we assess, the patient can't tell where the pain is because there's no symptom persist to tell us. And same time, when we're treating the patient, we prefer the patient is not making it worse. So if the person is not taking a painkiller, so if he do something, a bad posture, the pain will come and it will prevent that patient to make it worse. For example, if you lift something and you get a back pain, you will stop doing it because it's paining. Imagine you had a painkiller, you don't have that symptom, the pain. So automatically you don't feel it, so you do everything. And end of the day, you are making it worse. So that's the reason we are happy to have a patient without pain meds. Of course, there are conditions you need other medications. So that's why we prefer to get a patient with the proper doctor's preference or something, not over-the-counter pain meds. That plays a major role. But if you go for a like other condition where you need medication to control, and we work together as a team as well. But as a physio, we don't recommend or we don't prescribe any medication.
Right. So I don't think that, people out here, especially in Sri Lanka, have the awareness of getting a physiotherapy session or the importance of getting a physiotherapy session, because I feel that their first thing that they would go to is probably a doctor or get medical attention with medicines or something like that, or Ayurvedic attention. So what can we do to spread the awareness, and would you be able to give a little insight about physiotherapy and the importance of it?
Yes, it's a very good question actually. I think certain socio-economic group knows about physiotherapy. So they, it's a Western, it's not an Western, physiotherapy is a Western practice. So as Sri Lankans, we are more used to going for Ayurvedic or oil treatments or pattu or related, something related to that. So for example, if you twist ankle, our first will be pattu. So that's the pattu will be the first choice, right? So they don't think about physiotherapy much. So other than a certain socio-economic group. So what we want to know is that physio should be not thinking about it's for an allied group or anything. It should be able to allow all kind of people, should be accessible to physiotherapy. Because at the moment, if you look at what kind of people are receiving physiotherapy in an allied group, because that's what the perception is. Physiotherapy is expensive. Physiotherapy is, for the allied group who has money. So that should not be the way. Because rather than, for example, if you have a back pain and you'll be spending months and years at short money, while physio can short you in maybe 2 to 3 sessions, right? Only thing is we need 1 hour time management to sort out one issue. So that's maybe the reason the people think the physio is expensive, but your number of sessions and how long you suffer is comparatively less. So the awareness, it will take time for Sri Lankans to say, okay, I have a back pain, let me go for a physio. But if you take me 10 years back, Sri Lankans, even when I came from airports, when my passport is named as physiotherapist, usually even immigration officer doesn't know what physiotherapist is. That was just 10 years back. Now, when I say even my daughter's class, when I say I'm physiotherapist, they know, right, or you work with some sports. So at least some component is visible, maybe because we are popular in cricket. So at least most people now know, okay, the cricket player going for a rehabilitation for 6 months, right? So most challenges also, that is how long you need physio for a rehabilitation. The pain management, at least we can fix you in maybe 3-4 sessions. But imagine if you come for a spinal cord injury, strokes and all, it need a longer duration for us to fix you. So people will be looking for that Ayurvedic or something where they are comfortable and they are more because that's what Sri Lanka are more knowledgeable about.
Yes.
So I think that will take some time. But awareness like these TV shows, I do write some paper articles as well. So articles, and we do some talk shows I have done in Colombo City Centre and some corporate events where now managements are trying to promote their employees to get aware of their postures. So they're trying to bring a physio there and talk about it. What is even a small lifestyle change can prevent further, because that's what physio mainly about, prevention better than cure. We don't want people to go into surgeries. We don't want people to get long-term medication. So it's a slower change, but it's happening in Sri Lanka.
All right, Nilakshi, we'll go into a short commercial break. You're watching Business Best, and we'll be back soon. Welcome back to Business Best, and we are in discussion with Nilakshi Kasilingam, who is the founder of Physio Medicare. Now, Nilakshi, before we went into break, you gave us a good idea about what Physio Medicare is all about and the importance of getting a physiotherapy session and about the acceptance of this medical treatment that you all are providing as well. Now, since you've been in this field for around 10 years, what was the biggest challenge that you faced? I'm pretty sure that, getting the people to accept this type of Medicare would have been one of the biggest challenges. But other than that, personally and business-wise, what were the biggest challenges?
I think the biggest challenge as a physio, I feel, is people are looking for a quick fix. They don't want to, they always ask how many days it will take for me to get better. No, I usually can't answer that question because it depends on a lot of stuff. Doesn't matter how much ever you go and do all the bad things, like you maybe a bad posture, or lift something and do all the possible, which I said don't do it, and expect me alone cure it. It's a hard thing. Right? Plus, we, like for example, for back, if you take back pain, we fix it and we align the back and we give them some exercise so that they don't lose that alignment, right? We have given them postural advice, we have given some certain stretches to maintain and certain exercise. So whatever we achieved is available till we do the next session. And usually none of them follows, right? They're always like, I pay you, you need to fix us. Right? So they don't want to do an exercise. That's why in Sri Lanka it's very popular, no exercise, no diet, no pills scenarios. Because people are looking for shortcuts, looking for a quick fix. They don't want to wait few days to get better. So at least pain management wise, we can at least show them a difference in few sessions. But if you take a stroke patient, Parkinson, spinal cord injuries, wheelchair patient, the recovery is months. So they become depressed, they lose confidence in the physio. So it's a bit difficult for us to bring them. So usually physios are good counselors as well. We need to talk them, okay, don't lose hope, it's mind over matter. You will be walking someday. So that time frame they are looking at is the biggest challenge, because most of the time the only option is physiotherapy, and they don't want to wait months to get that results. So either they will be hopping to physio, or they are, look for other alternatives, maybe look for a Ayurvedic or trying to, go for some quick fix. Sri Lanka has so many famous words for those. So they will try to go and then come back again for physio again, so that they do that doctor shopping, physio shopping, other modalities, other whatever option they have, because they're looking at a fast cure. I think that is the most biggest challenge as a physio we feel.
Right. When considering now, you mentioned that people are jumping from physio to physio, finding for a cure. The question arises about authenticity. How does one know that, okay, this person is qualified to become a physiotherapist? Because if a physiotherapist treats you in a wrong place, in a wrong manner, that could completely change the way how your body works. So it's very critical to know whether the person treating you is, qualified and has good experience. How does one identify, okay, this person is genuinely authentic and he or she knows what they are doing?
Usually the easiest ways is to all the clinic which is registered in Health Ministry. So you can go to the Health Ministry registered platform where you can search for the name and they will show, okay, this particular clinic is registered under Health Ministry. So because Health Ministry anyway keep a record of all the registrations and everything, because you may be finding it a bit shy to go and ask, show me your registration. But most of the clinics are displayed outside about the Health Ministry registration. So I think that's one part where you could easily genuinely think. Second is you can ask questions. I think if a person is not qualified enough to give you enough answers to satisfy, it doesn't matter how qualified you are. I can be a qualified physio and not practice for maybe 25 years and say, okay, I have a registration, right? But I won't be, if a person asks me some questions, I won't be able to answer you, right? So it's all about if you can get an answer from your physio or doctor or anyone which can satisfy your needs, I think that's the best part. I mean, that's the common sense. If the person can give you a correct answer to your questions, or if the person is shut you off saying like, no, I know what I'm doing, so you just keep quiet. So that's not the way. You know, you should be able to, a physio should be able to answer the question whatever the patient has. So I think that's another way of looking at. One is you ask questions. Second thing is, of course, looking for a registration in the clinic.
All right. Nilakshi, when I went through your website and the profile that you sent me like prior to the program, you have been updated with the latest technology and the machinery to treat your patients in the right manner and effectively. And has the economic crisis affected you in any way? Because medical supplies and importing of machinery was very limited. And how do you cope up with that?
We have affected in a different way. Of course, as you say, supply is less, equipments, maybe I won't be able to get latest equipments because due to the restrictions, but mostly as a physio, it's more like hands-on. So if you look at it, we are finding it difficult to get a good quality K-tapes, kinesio tapes, because the good ones which we usually get is run out and they are not willing to buy anymore. So the one we get from another vendor is a lot of complaints from the patients, and they think the complaints due to us. They don't, because they don't know about the tape. They trust us. I know you have not put it properly. It came out the next day, right? So that complaints comes. But our biggest problem is losing the professional for migrations. I have lost 5 staff in this 1 year itself due to migration, because physiotherapy is a high skill in any migration list. So maybe if as a physio or as a clinic, our main threat will be maintain a good staff would be the biggest challenge. We will be losing a lot of staff for migrations. I think that is the financial crisis have, I think, made it in. I have never lost 5 staff in 1 year due to migration.
Okay.
So that is the biggest challenge.
Nilakshi, we are reaching the end of our program also. As my final question, how would you describe your journey as a physiotherapist and a female entrepreneur throughout the 10 years, and why should people choose Physio Medicare?
Okay, a female entrepreneur. Okay, that's it have helped me in the initial journey. First, when I started my Physio Medicare clinic, I was just one person. It was my own. I never thought about the clinic will come this far. I wanted to start my own family, so I thought it would be the best thing to have my own place to go, maybe morning 2 hours and evening 2 hours, and a relaxed family life. That was the plan. So when I started, I was the only female physio around that particular area. So being a female physio actually have helped to build a practice. So all the female patients who are because most of the time you need to take your dress off to treatment, right? If it's back, and sometimes you have to treat in a more, adductor areas, groin injuries, where you'll be comfortable with a female physio for a female patient. So that's, I think, for initial push, the female entrepreneur and female physio was the best part. I was bombarded with clients, because there was literally no female physios, because this is a male-driven profession. Because if you think of physio, a male, bulky male will come into your mind. So literally there was no female when I started, which means when I started, I get so much clients. I build my clients very fast. So to bring my Physio Medicare up, it was helpful. But to sustain in this profession, or when the clinic got so big, and to go to maybe a meeting or go to the social pressure and how you perceive a female entrepreneur is different compared to a male entrepreneur. So that stigma is a bit difficult for me to go around meeting people, or going alone and meeting few sectors was set back. So that is there, and of course I still work 9 to 6 because my priority is family life. So that also plays a part to get a balance of work, family, that also a major concern, where nowadays people would prefer to get to physio clinic after 6 after work, where I'm not available. So I'm not willing to spend that time, because my journey, the purpose of Johnney was to have a proper family life. So I don't want to turn away from this thing. But female entrepreneurship was too, if we want the clinic to the next level, it is always harder as in this male-driven world, I think. That is the biggest challenge, but I'm trying my best. And the Physio Medicare is like my baby, slowly growing. And hopefully this 10-year journey, it's always up. There's no backwards. So only I think the challenge was the COVID, maybe I have to close down the clinic, and then socio-economic and financial crisis, petrol crisis, because none of my patients can walk. They need a transport, paralyzed patients or something. They need a proper vehicle, ambulance or something. So that plays a major role. So far we have done a good job. Hopefully the future also will be kind to us.
Okay, thank you, Nilakshi, and we've reached the end of our program as well. And I wish you all the very best with Physio Medicare as well. And again, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.
And that was the end of our program on Business Best. We will be back again next week with another product or service that would interest you. And just in case you couldn't watch us on air tonight, you can always rewatch by catching us on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Derana English. I'm Suzanne Shanali. Stay safe and have a good night.